All right. So where I'm at now, what I'm doing now is very much like learning title. It took years. It took me at least 15 years to be comfortable to say I'm an expert at title. Why? Because there is the technical understanding of what title is. There is the business application of what title is. There's an understanding of how the industry works is what title is. There's a finding your own way in which to take all that information and brand yourself. I'm going to stop saying is what that is. And and then understanding how that all works together while it evolves, while things change, while technology improves, while you know you have the issues. It's not something you learn overnight. It's not something you become an expert at in 5 years. A lot of it's trial and error, but it's it's an ocean of information to ultimately be able to run a company that is title insurance and for an extended period of time over decades, where you still either have success or continued success, or and really in the case of quality title, improved success. I've gotten better at my craft over the years because that's how you get good at a thing. So NFTs are where I entered, really actively entered this new technology being blockchain. And that is where I jumped off. Now, cryptocurrency, I never messed with it. I didn't care about it. It wasn't my thing. It was what drug dealers did. Um, Even though there were millions of dollars made legitimately without selling any drugs, that I didn't do because my arrogance. Traditional human reaction to things we don't understand is we reject them, or we are afraid of them, so uh, we talk bad about them. We laugh at them. We've done this throughout human history. And I learned, really, my Bitcoin experience was learning that if I had just paid attention, talked to the right people, knew the right people, and had faith in the people that I was talking to, then I would have $1 million right now, where I only spent maybe 10,000 to make that million. So then I started listening, told myself that's not going to happen again. I'm not going to get caught in the cold because of my own hubris, or because I think I know things that I don't. So I came in with the NFT on the NFT side. Why? Because I was following somebody, Gary Vaynerchuk, who did his information, his views, his way of executing business. It struck chords with me, and that has only helped my core company grow. So when he said, "Hey, if you believe in all this, do this thing, you won't regret it." Absolutely, I will. I've listened to him for 2 years. My company has improved because of what he has shared for free. I became almost a zealot of what he was sharing. So I bought my NFTs and I dove in. For the last year and 2 months. I've been living in NFT land, but really not really blockchain land. Literally seeing the bigger picture. I mean, what was the come up for me in quality title, but to see this thing, this digital world emerge, the metaverse. So backing up very simply, Web 1 was the internet itself, Web 2 was social media and the public attention, and Web 3 really is blockchain based technology. But the but but the ecosystem has closed. This is it. Why? Because think about anything that has to do with capitalism. You have the platform, you have the attention, and then you have the money. So if you look at NFTs in one way, look at them as the digital asset, right? Because NFTs can be anything that you say they are because of the smart contract that's behind them, and therefore the blockchain behind that that can validate and verify everything. So if we have our money being cryptocurrency, which is on the blockchain, and we have NFTs, which is the digital asset on blockchain, then we now have a closed ecosystem and we now have the infancy of a new thing, bigger than the Industrial Revolution. This is the beginning of a new time in human history. And there isn't going to be anything new for 100 years. It will all be variants of where we're at now. There will be no 2.0 version of what blockchain tech is. It will only be the enhancement, the perfection of, the evolution of I mean, you're looking at a time now where this is a pioneering time. This is exploration. This is discovery. There is no expert in blockchain. That's the first time, if you hear the word expert in any of this, there better be a very specific something that you're hearing, or that is your key to don't stop listening to that person. They have no idea what they're really talking about. They're driving for dollars right now. They're trying to get, they're gonna take your money and rug pull. There's nothing there. So I know that blockchain, and NFTs, I mean, a lot of people know what NFTs are, but they don't. NFT is just consumer blockchain. It's far more than that. But right now, the reason why we know it is it's the consumer blockchain. It's a digital Rolex. It's a digital Lamborghini. It's a digital anything that has value that we consider valuable on the earth in the physical world. We are now giving value in the digital. It's a shift. It is a monster shift, but it's there and it is undeniable. Think of the people that once said they'd never have a cell phone. Think of the people that said they'd never date online, that they'd never have a Facebook. Doesn't happen. We all do. But now think of the people who were afraid to put their credit card information on the internet, right? They don't understand it, so therefore they're afraid of it. So now, even if blockchain will end title as we know it, which it will, because everything can be uploaded ultimately, proven, verified, validated, and it's immutable. There's no undoing, and we're not going to go down that rabbit hole either, because things can have be a birth and an ending on the blockchain as well. So let's not get too far into that. Just trust that I'm right so far. So even though blockchain will end title, it won't do it in my lifetime. I mean, my God, we're still not fully digital to execute documents for a mortgage transaction or a title. I mean, we can't do it yet. We're close. Within the year, I was signing for UPS packages on a digital screen, definitely in the early 2000s, perhaps even in the late 90s. I think it was already in the late 90s. So we had the tech. It sat around for 25 years. We're still not there. That's bureaucracy. That is red tape. That is fear. That is money. That is capitalism. I mean, that's lobbying. That's all that. The reason why this is different, and it's going to happen much faster, is because it's decentralized. You have there is no control. It is the individual who now has control and how they want to utilize tech that is available to all. So although we can talk about title, and that's fine, but really let's talk about why that's important now. It's not going away. It's never going away. Think about music. You have a phonograph, with 8-track, then 4-track. I don't know how those were I don't know. Right. And then we go to CDs, and then the MP3. And now I don't know if my digital music is MP3s anymore. I don't even care. I just know when I buy an album, I never actually touch it. Right. DVDs, same way. Think about motion pictures with no sound. Think about Charlie Chaplin saying that the silent film is the only way film should go. Why did Charlie Chaplin say that? Because he was a silent actor, because his fame and money came from silent movies. So what do we do when something comes along that we don't understand or that threatens our livelihood? We deny it. But this is undeniable. Sound, the movies. color movies. And now look from the 70s and now what a movie does. Other than Star Wars, which holds pretty well. But watch a 1977 movie that isn't Star Wars and it's horrible compared to now. You can't even hardly watch it. Not just the evolution of the filmography, the cinematography, whateverography, to even the language, the dialogue, the conversation. I mean, it's an evolution. And that's why this is so important, because this is so relevant. It's so right now. And there is a way not to take advantage, but to educate, to give value, to give understanding, to be a presence, to be a go-to, to create content where people can go and trust and understand this is why this matters. Jim's not selling me an NFT. Jim is just telling me what they are and why it matters and why it's relevant now. What is my motivation? A career of seeing things evolve and watching on the sidelines how things work in every way possible. I mean, it's a wonderful space to be in. When I'm 47 years old, I still feel youthful, but I have the wisdom that came along with it. I've been through the trenches. I saw '08. I was terrified, but I made it and I learned and I got better. And now, you know, I want to be the harbinger of that. I want to be a voice. I want to be somebody that people can go to and better understand what is absolutely going to affect them. You know about NFTs in a million different ways, but everybody's heard it. They just don't know what the hell it is. I knew what Bitcoin was. I just didn't know what the hell it was. I didn't really care. It didn't really affect me. This is too big of a deal, though, not to have an effect. This is an opportunity to take everything that I've learned from the past. I spent a year and 2 months now understanding what this is, and I don't understand it all. I am not an expert. I want to be a pioneer, definitely discovering, definitely an explorer. There is no expert. People are trying to capitalize on how they can make money off of it. There's a lot of fraud and scams going on. There's a lot of rug pulls. There's a lot of bullshit. So what I want to do is utilize that on the day to day and start getting people involved. And how do you get people involved? You create a buzz. The world's already created the buzz. So now you just kind of bring in that buzz. You create value. You educate. You onboard people so that they have a NFT wallet, so that they know what a digital wallet is. And you have to give them a reason as to why to want to do that. All the while learning, educating myself, being a voice, and I see immense value in that, because being the first kid on your block with a pair of Air Jordans has recognition, and that recognition can be driven back to the core of QT business. But it's not the aggressive pressure. It's something that is actually valuable and important that people need to know and will affect their lives for the rest of their lives. That's where we're at. That's why this is important. The blockchain is fascinating, but daunting. And there are sharks in this ocean that are doing horrible shit to people and taking their money and screwing them over. And if it's too good to be true, and all that crap, fear of missing out, you know, all of that culminates right now. And I'm going to capture that in a very small, steady, clear way, which is going to grow my core company the way a company should be grown, by giving value, by giving clarity, by giving understanding, by removing fear. And what is that? I need your attention. I need to educate. I need to onboard. And I need to put a carrot out in front of it so that people actually want to know more about it. That's what this is. The POAP is the beginning of that. It's an attendance protocol. It can be used for a million different things. That's what I want to do. I've already started the Discord. I have a Discord channel. I've already created POAPs because I'm playing with the platform. And I'm already thinking about how I'm going to create content that's going to drive this whole thing. And it will. This is the only reason why I don't have additional success with Quality Title, is if I don't put in the work if I don't take the time, if I let myself get distracted. It's the only way, because this is the birthplace of a whole new universe. I was reading a book, Snow Crash. It was written in 93. I was a senior in high school talking about things like this. I think the word metaverse came from that book, but that's what you get, right? Your science fiction novelist becomes your tomorrow reality. Now we're at tomorrow, and it's the infancy. It's the very beginning. I mean, I happened to read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea this weekend. It's talking about submarines. It's talking about traveling underwater. Think about how that started to where that's at now. This is the birthplace of something massive like the Industrial Revolution, you know, moving out of the Bronze Age. You know, that's what this is. It's, feudalism becomes democracy. I mean, it is that massive because it is all encompassing. Because anything I want to, if I want to give you something of no face value right now, if I want to give you a POAP, I can actually create a contract behind that telling you what value that actually has, and I drive that value. So that's where I'm at. I'm just now starting it, but this is that creation. Ideas become the creative, shifting into the execution. Reflect, go back to the creative, execute, reflect. This is the evolution of something that will, oh, it's going to be fun. And it's significant. It is a public service. And it's a year in the making. So more to come.